If you don't follow the NBA extremely closely, you'll never believe that superstars like Kobe, LeBron, and Harden can quit on their teams and leave them out to dry. Let me explain. What up everybody, my name is Stefan and this is Heat Check. Let's get into it. Kobe Bryant has possibly the most explicit instance of quitting, and it's super weird because he will always be known as the ultimate competitor. But unfortunately, there's no denying this one. In 2006, the Lakers went up 3-1 as a 7th seed against the run and gun Phoenix Suns, but Steve Nash and company somehow managed to fight their way back to a deciding Game 7. And this is where it gets interesting. During the second half of that game, you can see Kobe being extremely passive, giving the ball up, standing around, and even setting screens. Guys, this is one of the only times seeing Kobe setting screens for others. It even looks funny. He took only 3 shots the entire second half. Kobe Bryant, Game 7, 3 shots and a half. Only 1 point from a free throw. This doesn't sound right at all. Anyway, the Lakers lost that game and Charles Barkley called him out on TNT, which then sparked a big controversy, and Kobe even came on the show to try and defend himself about it. Nevertheless, I'm sure this is one of the rare moments in his Hall of Fame career that he actually regretted. Number 2, Rajon Rondo in Dallas. Rondo is universally accepted as one of the smartest NBA players, and he can instantly make a difference just by his basketball IQ, but at the same time, he's one of the more difficult guys to deal with. So when he got traded to the Mavs mid-season in 2015, there were high expectations for this team's playoff run. However, talks about chemistry issues kept popping up. He had a lot of arguments and disagreements with both coaches and players on the team. All of that culminated in Game 2 against the Rockets, where you can clearly see Rondo lacking effort. Look at these horrible defensive sequences for him. He's jogging out there on the court in an important playoff game. Then Rajon made mistakes that only an amateur would make, like this one for example. Gets an 8-second violation while dragging the ball up the court, and combined with a lot of other things that he did that game, Rick Carlisle saw enough and benched him the entire fourth quarter. Rondo would not play another game that series. The Mavs actually told the media that he had a back injury, but that was clearly just to avoid drama. The two sides quickly parted ways after the playoffs. Moving on, the LeBron James story about quitting in Game 5 against the Celtics in 2010 is very controversial. Some defend him and say that he had an elbow injury. ESPN analysts like Zach Lowe say that if you look at his body language, he looked disinterested. Dan Gilbert, the Cavs owner, said that he actually quit in games 2, 4, 5, and 6. And the conspiracy theorists say that it was all a result of the secret love affair between his own mother and Delonte West that LeBron found out about just before the Boston series. Whatever the case may be, it sure doesn't look good when the franchise player goes passive in a pivotal Game 5, scoring only 15 points on 3 for 14 from the field, and shortly after leaves the team on a nationally televised event. And talking about things not looking good, who remembers this? Elimination Game 6. Rockets need a win. James Harden goes super passive for a miserable 10 points on 2 for 11 shooting. As the Rockets were getting blown out, he didn't want to be on the court, so he fouled out and kinda saved himself. To top it all off, immediately after the game, Harden was seen partying in a nightclub, obviously not too concerned with what happened just moments prior. The Beard actually has a few of these playoff meltdowns, however the one in 2017 against the Spurs is definitely the worst of all. And finally, Vince Carter in 2004. During that season, Vince wanted out of Toronto to a better team so badly that he stopped playing, literally stopped trying. As you look at his numbers before and after the trade during that same season, it all becomes clear. To make matters even worse, there were reports at the time that Carter would tell opponents at the end of close games exactly which plays the Raptors are running against them after timeout. All of this made an enemy from his home fans, and he would get heavily booed every single time he would play in Toronto after the trade. The two sides finally made up towards the end of his career with an emotional tribute and standing ovation from the crowd. Although the NBA and its superstars are wildly competitive, as you can see, there are instances where even the best of the best do things that are hard to explain and even harder to defend. That's it for now. Subscribe and talk to you in the next one. Peace out.